Jury selection kicking off today in an L.A. courtroom in a civil trial for Bill Cosby on accusations from Judy Huff, a woman who says he sexually assaulted her when she was a teenager.
Breaking news in Bill Cosby's civil trial here in Southern California. The jury has just come back with a $19 million verdict against Cosby.
A name that changed Hollywood forever. For decades, Bill Cosby was known as America's dad. A beloved comedian, a TV icon, a cultural legend who shaped generations through The Cosby Show, one of the most influential sitcoms in television history. But in recent years, that image has completely collapsed.
He denies charges that he drugged and molested Andrea Constand in his home in 2004.
Instead of red carpets and awards, his name became tied to one of the most controversial legal battles in modern entertainment history. And now, after years of courtroom fights, appeals, reversals, and public debate, a new legal milestone has brought fresh attention back to his case. A final court decision has once again confirmed what many already thought was settled, but also reminded the public how complex this case truly is. So, what actually happened? And why is Bill Cosby's legal story still making headlines? Let's break it down. From Hollywood icon to legal collapse. Bill Cosby's rise in Hollywood was historic. He wasn't just a comedian, he was a breakthrough figure in American television, becoming one of the first Black actors to lead a major network sitcom with I Spy, and later redefining family entertainment with The Cosby Show in the 1,980 seconds. For years, he was seen as a symbol of success, education, and positive representation in media. But that legacy began to shift dramatically in the mid-2010s when multiple women came forward with serious allegations dating back decades. These allegations led to criminal investigations and eventually a high-profile trial. What followed was not just a celebrity scandal, it became one of the most closely watched legal battles in entertainment history. The first trial and conviction. In 2017, Bill Cosby's first criminal trial ended in a mistrial after the jury could not reach a unanimous decision. But in 2018, a second trial resulted in a conviction. Cosby was found guilty of aggravated indecent assault related to the testimony of Andrea Constand, a former Temple University employee. He was sentenced to prison and classified as a sexually violent predator under Pennsylvania law, which included restrictions after release. For many observers, this appeared to be the final chapter. A legendary career had ended in disgrace and imprisonment, but the legal story was far from over. The shock release that reopened everything. In June 2021, everything changed again. The Pennsylvania Supreme Court overturned Cosby's conviction. The court ruled that Cosby's due process rights had been violated due to a prior agreement with a former prosecutor that he would not be charged, which influenced how he gave testimony in a civil deposition years earlier. Because of this legal issue, the conviction was vacated, and Cosby was released from prison after serving nearly 3 years. He walked out of prison a free man. But importantly, the court did not declare him innocent. Instead, the ruling focused strictly on procedural fairness, not the underlying allegations. This distinction became one of the most misunderstood parts of the case. The public reaction, confusion, and division. After his release, reactions were deeply divided. Some viewed the decision as a correction of a flawed legal process. Others saw it as a failure of justice for the accuser and other women who testified. The case became a national debate about legal procedure versus moral accountability, prosecutorial agreements, the limits of retrials, and how far the justice system should go in high-profile cases. Cosby himself maintained that he had always denied wrongdoing. His legal team emphasized that the court's decision was based on constitutional rights, not factual innocence. Meanwhile, public opinion remained sharply split. For many people, the damage to his reputation was already permanent. The civil cases that followed. Even after his criminal conviction was overturned, Cosby's legal troubles did not completely disappear. civil lawsuits and claims continued to surface or remain part of the broader legal history surrounding the allegations. In civil court, the burden of proof is lower than in criminal court, which means cases can proceed differently, even without a criminal conviction. Some cases were settled in earlier years, while others were dismissed or remained part of ongoing legal discussions. However, no major new criminal conviction has replaced the overturned 2018 ruling. This created a unique legal situation. A man previously convicted, later released on constitutional grounds, but still widely associated with serious allegations. Why the case is back in the headlines again. The reason Bill Cosby's name is resurfacing in legal news is due to continued court-related discussions, appeals history, and public reinterpretation of past rulings. Legal analysts continue to reference his case because it has become a major example in discussions about prosecutorial promises, evidence admissibility, limits of retrial, and constitutional protections in criminal law. Even years after his release, the Cosby case is still taught and debated in legal circles because it raised a difficult question. What happens when legal procedure conflicts with public perception of justice? There is no simple answer. The legacy that cannot be separated. Regardless of legal outcomes, Bill Cosby's legacy in entertainment is permanently changed. For decades, he was considered a groundbreaking figure in television history. But today, his legacy is viewed through two completely different lenses. One is cultural impact, groundbreaking work in TV and comedy. The other is legal controversy, a long and complex series of allegations and court rulings. Both exist at the same time, and neither can fully erase the other. That tension is why Cosby remains one of the most discussed figures in American entertainment history. The final legal reality. As of the most recent court-related developments, the key legal reality is this. Cosby's 2018 conviction was overturned by the Pennsylvania Supreme Court in 2021. He was released from prison as a result. The court ruling was based on procedural issues, not a declaration of innocence. No new criminal conviction has replaced that overturned verdict. This is the legal status that continues to define the case today. And it is why headlines about final decisions often resurface, because the ruling itself remains one of the most controversial in modern U.S. legal history. Final thoughts, a case that changed legal debate. Forever, the Bill Cosby case is no longer just about one man. It has become a legal reference point, a case study, a debate that continues to divide lawyers, journalists, and the public. For some, it represents a failure of justice for survivors. For others, it represents the importance of constitutional protections, even in the most emotional and high-profile cases. And for many, it represents both at the same time. Because this case shows something uncomfortable but real. The legal system is not always simple, clean, or emotionally satisfying. Sometimes it produces outcomes that challenge everyone's expectations. And sometimes, even after years of courtroom battles, the final word still doesn't feel final at all. What's your opinion on this case? Do you think the legal system reached the right outcome? Or do you think cases like this show deeper problems in how justice is handled? Let us know in the comments below. If you found this breakdown helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more deep dives into major entertainment and legal stories. See you in the next video.